Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the latest news and current events. We have a lot to cover, so let's get started. In the UK, Prime Minister Keir Starmer has sparked a debate about free speech and public safety after suggesting that some pro-Palestinian marches could be banned. This comes amid a rise in anti-Semitic incidents, including a recent stabbing attack in the North London suburb of Golders Green, which is home to a large Jewish community. The Prime Minister, who visited the scene of the attack, has faced criticism from some members of the community who feel he hasn't done enough to protect them. They've also denounced pro-Palestinian activists holding marches in British cities, which began after Hamas's attack on Israel last year. Starmer has said that while he's a strong defender of free speech and peaceful protests, certain chants and language used during these marches are completely off-limits. He specifically mentioned the chant, "Globalize the Intifada," which he says is viewed as very dangerous by the Jewish community. The UK government has raised its terrorism threat level to severe in response to the attack and other security concerns. The police have also announced that they'll be taking a closer look at future protests and will arrest anyone using language or chants that are deemed to be inciting violence or hatred. This is a complex issue, with different perspectives and opinions on both sides. Some argue that banning certain marches or chants is a necessary step to protect public safety and prevent hate speech, while others see it as an infringement on free speech and the right to protest. We'll continue to follow this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. For now, it's clear that the UK government is grappling with the challenge of balancing public safety with the need to protect fundamental rights like free speech. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're diving into the world of local politics, where the stakes are high and the impact is real. Today, we're shining a spotlight on the city of Birmingham, where the 2026 local elections are shaping up to be a game-changer. The city has been grappling with some significant challenges, from financial distress to a prolonged bin strike that's left residents frustrated and concerned about the state of their community. But amidst the chaos, a new generation of politicians is emerging, determined to bring about change and make a difference in the lives of Birmingham's 1.2 million citizens. We're seeing a proliferation of independent candidates, many of whom are young, passionate, and eager to shake things up. They're running on platforms that prioritize hyper-local issues, from tackling potholes and fly tipping to regulating houses in multiple occupation and supporting local businesses. Meanwhile, the traditional parties are also gearing up for battle. The Labour Party, which has dominated local politics in Birmingham for years, is facing a strong challenge from the Conservatives, who are seeking to win an outright majority. And then there are the Liberal Democrats, who are focusing on issues like cleaning up the city and cracking down on antisocial behavior. What's striking about this election is the levels of engagement and enthusiasm among voters. Despite the challenges facing the city, there's a sense of hope and optimism in the air as people come together to demand better from their elected representatives. As we look ahead to the election on May 7th, one thing is clear: the outcome will have a profound impact on the lives of Birmingham's residents. Will the independent candidates be able to capitalize on their momentum and bring about real change? Or will the traditional parties maintain their grip on power? Whatever the result, one thing is certain: this election is a reminder that local politics matters and that the decisions made by our elected representatives have a direct impact on our daily lives. So let's keep a close eye on Birmingham and see how this fascinating story unfolds. Welcome back to Concrete Block. As we wrap up today's show, let's take a closer look at the ongoing situation with Iran and its impact on global oil prices. The Strait of Hormuz, a vital waterway for international trade, remains blocked, causing significant disruptions to oil exports. The U.S. has maintained a naval blockade on Iranian ports, aiming to squeeze the country's economy and force concessions from Tehran. In response, Iran has insisted that the blockade must be lifted before it will consider reopening the strait. This stalemate has led to rising oil prices, with Brent crude settling near $108 a barrel. Meanwhile, reports indicate that Iran is proactively reducing its crude output to stay ahead of storage capacity limits. The country's leaders appear united in their determination to take a hard line against Washington, despite claims from the Trump administration that divisions among Iranian authorities are to blame for the slow pace of negotiations. As the situation continues to unfold, it's essential to consider the potential consequences for global energy markets and international relations. With piracy on the rise off the coast of Somalia and oil tankers being hijacked, the ripple effects of this conflict are being felt far beyond the Middle East. It's also worth noting that India is attempting to alleviate its own energy crisis by having one of its supertankers transit the Strait of Hormuz, a rare and risky maneuver. The U.S. has approved expedited arms transfers to several countries in the region, including Israel, Kuwait, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. As we close out today's episode, it's clear that this complex and multifaceted situation will continue to evolve in the coming days and weeks. We urge our listeners to stay informed and up to date on the latest developments. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay informed.